Hey guys, hello and welcome to another installment, another episode of Vince and Films. My name is Vincent and I'm still living in Paris, where I'm currently trying to break the record of most films seen in a cinema in 1 year. Now, today is the end of week 31, which marks day 217 if I'm not mistaken. And we are now at 447 films seen in a theater. Not in 1 year yet, but in 217 days, just like I just said. Now, this week has been rather slow in the sense that, I saw 16 films, but among the new releases, there wasn't anything really special, and even the majority of the films I saw were rather old releases with films that were directed by Alfred Hitchcock in the 1930s, early 40s, films with Clint Eastwood, very good ones though. You had Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. No, not Lightfoot. Shoot. Thunderbolt and... No, Lightfoot. Yeah, that's it. Which was a great film with Clint Eastwood and young Jeff Bridges that I can highly recommend. A buddy film of two people. Clint Eastwood, 40 years old, who meets this kid who's 20 but is a smartass, and so they decide to rob a bank together and with other people. It's a lot of fun. Very entertaining. But among the new releases, actually, there are two films that are worth mentioning. The first one would be Lego Ninjago, the movie. After the Lego movie and after the Batman Lego movie, this is the next installment in this Lego sort of universe. I don't know if it's connected or not, but in any event, it was like the two others. It was a lot of fun. I didn't know what to think about this film going in. I wasn't excited by the trailers, but actually I was pleasantly surprised, even though I saw this film in French. Unfortunately, but even though it was in French, I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. It was very funny, and it did go in directions that I didn't necessarily expect. The story of these guys who are ninjas and protect a city that's always attacked by the same guy, the same bad guy, and they always defeat him. And then one day they lose because, they did a mistake, and so he invades the city, but then there's another problem, and so the ninjas have to leave town, get to some place to get a relic to save the city, and actually something happens with the bad guy as well. And the fact is that the bad guy is actually the father of one of the main characters, and you know that from the start. This isn't a spoiler, and it's also in the trailers, and it's a lot of fun in that aspect. But otherwise, just one more thing about the Lego Ninjago movie. It's that it is unfortunate that even though I think it's worth watching, it's a lot of fun. You should take your kids, go by yourselves as well. With adults, I was by myself. Most of the cases I am. And next week I'm going to be by myself watching My Little Pony, the film. Yes. Anyway, Lego Ninjago, a lot of fun, but the problem is that it only made $96 million currently worldwide. When you think about the Lego Batman movie, which made about 300 and costs 80 million. I'm not sure if the Ninjago movie costs as much as the Lego Batman movie, but the problem is that even if it did just cost 50 or 60 million, 96 million, that's not enough to get the money back. So I hope it'll make more so that we will get other Lego movies. I think they are a lot of fun. And go check it out. The other film that is worth mentioning is a French film called L'Atelier, Atelier, a film by Laurent Cantet, or Laurent Cantet, if you want to speak it, pronounce it in English. It was a very good film. It was selected not in the main category, but at the Cannes Film Festival in the category of another look, un autre regard, ou un certain regard, a certain look, and it was very good. The story is very simple. It takes place in the south of France in the summer, and tells the story of this group of kids who are at high school age, and they spend the summer in a sort of internship that is there to teach them how to write stories, books. And so they have this teacher who is a writer, a woman from Paris, who comes down to the south of France to talk to these kids and animate this this group, this session of 10 kids, and the story is about these kids who interact with each other and try to come up with a story, a crime thriller. And so you get to learn about the city in which they live, which has a history of being one of the cities that build the greatest ships in the world, but now don't do this anymore, because now, I mean, the harbor and the workers have left and they only build luxury yachts. So there's this whole pride that has gone, and so they want to try to make a story within this vicinity and with this history. And on the other hand, you have the story of these kids who are from different backgrounds. So you have Arabs, you have black kids, you have racists, you have not so racist. And the thing is that you have a main character who seems to be racist, but and even though it touches on the subject, racism, Islam, terrorism, it is also more about just being a kid and the fact of living in a town where you have a rich history that your parents connect to, but you don't because you didn't know it. And now you live in this town where there's nothing left and the future seems just boring, predictable, and there's nothing new, exciting to look forward to. And so they have to deal with this. So overall, when I came out of this film, I was thoroughly entertained, had a very good time. There were a lot of things going on in my mind that needed. It just makes you think about a lot of things, different things, and not all these cliches that I think were avoided in this film. So, if you want to have the opportunity to watch a good film wherever you are, L'Atelier by Laurent Cantet and Lego Ninjago. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope I'll see you next week or talk to you next week. Salut.